Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show! I am your host, Andrew Illy, and This is the Ball of Truth, episode 63. We are live, man. Thank you very much for joining me. Wherever you are around the world, wherever you are, you silly motherfuckers. Thank you again for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. It's 12:40. We are live from the studio. Ah, man. I can't tell you guys how unexcited I was during the week for this game. Even last night, I just was not feeling it. Whether or not that was energy transferred from the club or the players, is that how they were feeling? I don't know. But man, I tell you, after the fallout of the Carlton-Melbourne game, we started getting... Thanks, Peter, in the chat. After the fallout of the Monday, well, basically the Carlton-Melbourne game on Monday, I don't know what it was, man. I just wasn't feeling a positive energy, and that was because of the news of all the injuries and Andrew Russell, the fitness coach, all the pressure he was under as well, which he should be. He absolutely should be, because players keep getting injured. It's the same players that keep getting injured. Is their rehab program not up to scratch? Are they rushing these players back? It's the same injuries to the same players. And I don't understand it. It's been happening for a few years now. Man, when I saw Cottrell out of nowhere, missing 4 to 5 weeks with a stress fracture in his foot, I believe it was, I was devastated because of all the injuries already. We lost Adam Chera as well, to a hamstring injury again. He just got back and he was playing amazing. He really was. Against Melbourne, he was back to his best. And then out of nowhere, bang, another hamstring injury. We also lost Jack Martin. Who's at fault here for Jack Martin? The guy has had the worst history of calf issues over the stretch of 3 to 4 years, pretty much his whole Carlton career. The guy can hardly get up for a game, let alone probably like 5 games a season. He'll play one, get injured, play a couple, get injured. Same pattern, same routine, same everything. The consistency's there with these players and their injuries. And who is to blame? I don't know. Do you blame Andrew Russell, our fitness coaches, and all the strength and conditioning coaches? Probably. Seriously, probably you do. But at the end of the day, it's next man in mentality. Do we have the depth to cover these players? And that's a really important question, because I think over the last couple of weeks we've been exposed. Well, our fringe players have been exposed, and some changes really, really need to happen, man. I mean, I'll go through that and who I think should be dropped. And we can even start off, honestly, we'll start off with the ins and outs before this game. And that was, the outs were Lachie Cowan, who I thought was a little bit harsh to be dropped. I thought he did okay against Mel. He had some good moments, and he's inexperienced and he makes mistakes, fair enough. I know that. But do you really want to drop someone from a winning side like that when there was injuries as well? So I thought Cowan was a little bit harsh to be dropped. Jack Martin obviously got injured with his calf. And he's frustrating the shit out of me because Jack Martin is an absolute gun. And he's so important to our forward line, and he opens up space, and he's just that third target that we need. And he can play as a target man. He can play as a small forward. He can do everything. Really frustrating. And he's so underrated in his upper body strength. He is freaking strong as. And we need someone like that. Chero with a hamstring was the other out, and Cottrell with his foot. Massive outs, man. Compared to, adding on to the list of who is already out. The ins, Zach Williams, who I thought had a much better game last night. Not many positives to come out of last night. Caleb Marchbank was another one who's injury prone, and he was back in the side, and I don't think he played well. He looked underdone, slow, sluggish, really, really off the pace. Fantasia, everyone's scapegoat is Fantasia, and I don't think he's a player to blame for anything, but he's not performing up to what we need him to do. Basically what we need him to do in this team, and he doesn't take his chances at goal. He missed maybe one or two last night. And Jack Carroll was the sub last night who also came in. And I would have loved for Vossi to give Binns another go. I mean, the guy absolutely dominated in the VFL at 43 touches. I didn't really watch any of it, but I read the report and he did well. Just chuck him in. Seriously, he should have been in for Cottrell on the wing. I would have played him there. Try something else, man. The players, I don't know, Fantasia and Carroll aren't doing it for me. Even when Carroll came on, I know it was a really hard game to come into because we were getting slaughtered, man. Before I get into the game, Sydney are the real deal. They are right now the best team in the league, and you got to give them all the credit. And they fully deserve to win, and they belted us, especially in the midfield, in those clearances, in the second half especially. They just ran away with it. But, we'll get into why all that happened. The mindset is one of the biggest things for me. And I think that during the week, our mindset was we lost this game already. I felt that. I don't know if you guys felt it as well. I felt like we had lost the game and we hadn't even played it yet. Maybe because of these injuries, maybe because of all the scrutiny of our fitness and coaches and the injuries and all that stuff. I don't know, man. There was just this really, really negative energy and vibe during the week. I'm telling you, this was the most unexcited I've been for a game. And you would think Carlton going against the top of the table side at the SCG, honestly, I would usually be pumped up for that, but I just knew we were going to lose. And that energy stuck with me. And whether it's transferred from the players or not, I don't know, but it kind of showed out there last night. We'll get into it. But just before we do, guys, we've got to plug the social medias. Follow me on X. I wasn't on last night, but I usually am during every single game. balloftruth_pod on X, formerly known as Twitter. And follow me on balloftruth.pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And our home is YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, or if you don't, you would have seen that I caught up with Brendan Favola, one of the greats, an Aussie icon, and Dave Hughes, comedian and Carlton supporter. I had lunch with those boys last week on Tuesday. Had an amazing time there. Great blokes. Had good laughs. And that was all part of a charity auction which my brother was involved in and his crew, and he brought me along to that. So that was unbelievable and amazing experience, catching up with Fev, having lunch, and good chats with him and Hughesy. Funny buggers, man. Absolute pisses of a blokes. And we spoke footy, we spoke life, we spoke boys, and just everything, man. It was amazing stuff. And look, one day we'll get Fev on here. I'll try and reach out to him and see if we can get him on, because I asked him a lot of questions about his career and basically his life, and there's so many interesting things that I will let him say. They're not for me to tell you guys. It's his story, but he's got a fantastic story, and he's one of the all-time greats, one of the best full forwards I've ever seen, honestly, and that's not bias. He's truly, I had him above Buddy in his peak. I did. Fev was fantastic. And can't speak highly enough of those two boys at lunch. They were very humble and down to earth, and we had a good laugh. So, yeah, I'll upload some more photos from that day. That was really fun. But, man, let's... guys, of course, if you're liking the show, hit that thumbs up, please. Helps the channel out. And we're growing, man. We've had ridiculous amount of views compared to what we were doing a year ago. The subscribers are going up, and once we hit the 200 mark, we will be giving something away. So subscribe, guys, if you're here for the first time, or if you're back again and you haven't clicked it, just click it, man. Just click it. It's all good. We've plenty of content here, and look, man, here on the Ball of Truth, there's no hiding. There is no hiding. If you play shit, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell all of you. But, yeah, follow me on everything, guys. The links are in the description. Hit that bell as well. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And let's get on with the show. So, like I said, wasn't really excited for this one. But I was absolutely flabbergasted to our start of this game. We came out like we did against Melbourne and seriously destroyed Sydney for basically most of the first quarter. Let them creep back in a bit towards the end. And that was... We'll touch on that. So the first goal came from McGovern, where TDK took a strong mark for once, actually held on to it. Probably the only time he did during this game. There was so many other people, we'll get into it, who dropped marks. I'm going to get into that. TDK hit Ollie Hollins. He was about 45 metres out, and I'm saying, go back, and just have a shot. But he saw McGovern sneak behind him on the right, quick handball, and Gov has gone absolutely bang from 55 metres out. Great goal to start the game. And we're off to a fly, man. TDK head-high contact after this, not given. Should have got a free kick. But Elijah Hollins had a crucial intercept in defence. I thought Hollins was pretty decent, Elijah. He saved us a goal there. And Charlie Curnow got our next goal. Govern Akers did some nice work on the wing. Inside 50, Charlie was very strong in the mark. He went back and kicked that one. It was 14-1 at that point. Harry Mackay from 60 metres, set shot, absolute brilliant, spectacular set shot from Harry Mackay. His kicking has improved so much this year, and that's a very big positive for me. That made it 20-1. That was great setup work from Pitternet, actually, who found Harry on the lead. Boyd with a brilliant setup, but then Harry Mackay, who should have got a 50-metre penalty. He marked it literally 10 metres out and has missed. He's absolutely blasted this one. But before this, even the commentators admitted it. He should have got a 50-metre penalty, which would have been a guaranteed goal. And I tell you what, the people I was watching with, we all thought the same thing. We're like, because he didn't get that 50-metre penalty, he's going to miss now. And lo and behold, Harry had that one silly moment. He always does every now and then. And he missed one, an absolute sitter, which really hurt. But that wasn't really the reason why anything bad happened after this, because we scored the next goal again. It was Boyd. No, it wasn't Boyd. It was Owies. Fantasia found him out the back of a pack, and he ran in and kicked a nice goal. But before that happened, Wiedering got injured, man. So he copped a cork on that quad where, I don't know if you guys remember in the Sydney elimination final, he kind of copped the same injury and he wasn't really feeling all that great. He ended up coming off. He was limping pretty bad. Another kind of soft tissue injury. This one was more of an impact, so fair enough, okay. I hope he's okay for next week. It's just a cork, so hopefully he recovers all right. But as Weeders got off, and we'll get into the second half, but I really felt like there was something missing in defence, and it was so evident how crucial Jacob Wiedering is to our defence, man. We leaked goals bad, but that's the midfield's fault as well. After this, man, a bad turnover by Boyd, I'm pretty sure, inside defensive 50, resulted in a Haywood goal. And that kind of brought the momentum back in Sydney's favour. However, Walshy scored a nice goal, made it 33-9. Won a loose ball from a contest, and it was good pressure here by the Blue Baggers. One of the only times we really did it. And it was 33-9 at this point. The umpire sent a bounce. I don't know where this thing went to Ballarat. He bounced the ball, and the ball's gone. I don't know where it went. Play on. Piternet's looking around like, huh? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Sydney just played on and kicked a goal from this. It was really bizarre. And the same thing happened the next one. A shocking bounce by the umpire. And I think Papley scored that goal. So it was Jordan and Papley back-to-back goals, cut the lead to 2 goals. From really dubious centre bounces where they really should have called it back. I don't understand what the fuck happened there. I'm not blaming our loss on this, by the way. Absolutely not. And then right to end the quarter, Walshy gave away a fucking stupid free kick. Lucky it didn't result in anything. Seriously, it was a set shot though, but they missed. But man, just undisciplined stuff. I hate, one of my pet hates about the Blues is when we give away late goals with like literally borderline siren. And we've done it so many times. And it's just like, man, someone have the composure and discipline to just hold the fucking ball. Seriously. Anyway, that was the first quarter. We're up 5-3-33 to 3-6-24. Very similar start to the Melbourne game. So that took me by surprise, man. That really did. And I'll tell you, even how good we played, we literally didn't let Sydney touch the ball. You have to just look at the tackles in the first quarter and the game to know that Sydney could not get the ball because their tackle count was like 20-3. We had no tackles to place because we had the ball the whole time. But this completely changed in the second quarter. The second quarter was one of our worst quarters I've ever seen, especially this season. There's probably 2 quarters that stand out, and this was one of them as to one of our worst. But, man, even despite leading this game and playing well in the first quarter, I swear to you, from the bottom of my heart, I just did not feel good still. I'm like, we're going to lose. Even when it was 27-1, I'm like, we're going to lose. As good as we're playing, I just know, especially from last week, in that last quarter, that our mindset drastically changes throughout games. And I don't know what is the cause. We don't know how to stop opposition momentum really well. We're not good at that. And that falls on the coaches. You got to change something. That's Voss and all the coaches, man. Seriously, it is. This mindset that drastically changes that I spoke about has cost us so many wins. This is why, I know I've been harping on about it for weeks, but the Adelaide game, a few weeks back, the Adelaide loss was so bad in terms of the season because we lost this game and we got pounded. It wouldn't be as bad if we won one of the 2 or 3 that we lost. But the Adelaide one was a real bad one because that really, really should have been 4 points. And we're going to be out of the 8 by the end of the round. How crazy is that? Round 10, Carlton out of the 8, halfway point nearly of the season. It's concerning, man. I'm not going to hit the panic button, but I'm very, very concerned and I'm worried. And I know we're 6-4, and that's positive as opposed to last year, but we're still going to be out of the 8, I'm pretty sure, at the end of the round. Now, other teams have had great runs, great fixtures like the Bombers. They beat the Giants last week, but they've really versed and won against sides under them. The last 4 weeks, we've versed basically top 4 sides. Geelong, GWS, Collingwood, Melbourne, Sydney. Ridiculous, man. And we haven't won too many. So I was wondering and questioning during this second quarter, where the fuck was the fight from last week going into this week? First quarter, yep, no worries. But throughout the rest of the game, I didn't see anything from the Melbourne game that we brought into this game. And that's Sydney setting up well, out-coaching us and just wanting it more, man. Their pressure, their energy was just, it was so much better than ours. So this second quarter, man. Papley scored a goal from a free kick against Kemp. That was the first goal. Don't think it was a free kick against Kemp. I think that was the front-on contact one, I believe, which was very harsh. But anyway, whatever. They scored a goal from it. Then I think it was Hayward or Warner, and Warner is such a gun, man. I wish we had him. He's seriously so quick, and his agility, he's a bloody panther. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was him who kicked the ball. The camera couldn't even find this ball. That's how high it went. Marty's marked it and scored a goal. Back-to-back goals, and Sydney are in front, and I'm like, game over. I said it right then and then. I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling this. And once Sydney hit the lead, that was it. We were done, man. We were done. The next 10 minutes of this game was so fucking scrappy. The stupidest mistakes, this invisible pressure when we had no one near us, making uncharacteristic mistakes. We just shit ourselves so bad. And bad habit Carlton kicked in. Now, when bad habit Carlton kicks in, it's like watching 2017, 2018 when we're bottom of the barrel. Nothing goes right. It's infectious and contagious, and everyone starts fucking it up. And our skills, our fundamental skills were lacking here. So bad. Predictable long kicks, players fumbling, players not taking easy chest marks, easy grabs with no one on them, man. Inexcusable, unbelievable behavior by the Blues here. And it was so fucking frustrating because you could just see it happening before it happened. You're just like, oh, here we go. It was so frustrating, man. Predictable long kicks, not utilising the SCG, which is the smallest ground in the AFL. You literally can kick it from 150 to the other. Just go down the middle. Fucking pisses me off. Like I said, we're dropping marks all over the place, fumbling, and it was just an old Carlton that I was watching. And Pete, absolutely, man. James Jordan, it was either one who tagged Walsh, whoever tagged, I'm pretty sure it was, you're right. Absolutely took Walsh out of the game. Because Walsh started fantastic. And then, this is Sydney's coaching, out-coaching Voss. Happened all game. I really feel like we don't have a plan B here. Right? Like, what is going on? When things are rough and the chips are against us and the chips are down, I know that Voss put Curnow back at one stage. I think it was in the third quarter. But the game was still alive, really. It was only like 3-4 goals. So why are you putting our top scorer back? And I know we lost Wieding, but still, man, that's his go-to plan B, I guess. But there's nothing else apart from that these coaches think of. We do not know how to break other teams' momentum. And it fucking kills me. Weenus ×2 in the chat. The rumor is that the Essence strength and conditioning program was not periodized properly, meaning they didn't run a responsible developing phase leading up this season. That elevates the chance of injury. Well, there you go. There you go. That's crazy, man. That hurts reading that. And if that's true, my God, it speaks volumes. Like, look at our injury list right now. We've got about 10 starting players in that injury list, and crucial ones. And I know we lost Doherty, and I'm going to exclude him from that list. But when you think of like Fogarty, Chera, Motlop, Cottrell now, and all these gun players, Jack Martin, it's crazy, man. I've always said this and I'll believe it. If we are a full strength Carlton, we may, people will laugh at me, but we may be the best team in the comp. Full strength. I believe we can absolutely beat anyone in the competition. But are we ever going to get there? Do we even know what our best side is? We can't figure it out because we keep getting injuries every bloody week. And there's so many changes, and I think that's another reason I wasn't excited for this game. There's just changes every single week, and you can't get any consistency and balance within a squad, and that's why I thought we were going to lose. I knew we were going to lose. Chad Warner for Norm Smith, slap a 20 on it now. I know. I love Chad Warner, man. He is a gun. And Heaney's an absolute beast as well. Look, man, Sydney are fantastic. But we beat them in the elimination final last year, and the squads aren't too different since then. We can definitely beat them. Absolutely. But are we going to have the team there ready to do it? It's getting scary, man. It's getting very, very scary. Yeah, 100%. Sydney will finish top 4. But yeah. Man, that second quarter was dreadful. One of the worst quarters all season. And I really was looking for that fight that we showed against Melbourne. Just did not exist. There were so many players that I noticed jogging. Just like, oh yeah, it's okay, you know. I'll get him. Meanwhile, the Sydney player has burst through like 15 metres ahead of him, and we're just struggling there behind. It's like, man, I don't know how lethargic these players were going into the game, or underdone, or hurt, or sore. I don't know, man. But the effort and the pressure was not there tonight. It just wasn't. At halftime, let alone, we were piss weak in the tackles. So many broken tackles here during this little period where Sydney went on this run. So many broken tackles. Whereas when we would get tackled, it would be strong, both arms pinned to the ground. Absolute piss weak. No urgency. And just fumbling lame kicks all over the place. Sydney were up by 14 at halftime, 7-8-50 to 5-6-36. And you know what? A 14-point lead here. Honestly, going into the third quarter, felt like Sydney were up by like 30, 40 points. And let alone in the third quarter, Charlie Curnow kicked the first goal of the quarter. And I think it narrowed it down to under 2 kicks. Then Sydney went on a 7-goal. I'm pretty sure they kicked 7 goals in a row. An absolute blitz. And we just could not keep up. Their midfield dominated us. They kind of did what Collingwood did, where they blocked out our midfielders like Walshy and Cripper. We couldn't get near it. They set up so well. Centre clearance after centre clearance after centre clearance after goal, goal, goal. And they were running through, man. They were running from the circle to 50 goal. It happened like 3 or 4 times that quarter. And yeah, man. We were goalless in the second quarter. I just realised we were goalless in the second quarter. You can't win a game like that. Sorry. Let's go to the chat. Hi, bro. I just think we are slow on the outside. A bit one-dimensional. Absolutely, man. Apov, yep. I agree, man. Very, very slow. Oh, did we look slow last night? Oh, man. Stevie, there's no real speedsters on our team at the moment. Need Sard and Motlop back badly. Oh, my God. I miss Sardi. I know. Sardi, with that run and carry out of defence, gets us out of trouble so many times and creates space. He's so crucial to this team. Like I said, I'm not hitting the panic button. We need to start getting these plays back. And I'll be confident. I'll be way more confident once we get at least 3 or 4 players back. But right now, it's not looking good, man. I think maybe Fogarty might be back next week. If we assemble a full team by round 18, I legit think we can win it all. It's just very hard to imagine the injuries under control. Yeah, absolutely. I'm feeling the same, man. I know, and all Carlton fans know what we've got from the base up. We have a team and we have the players to get the job done, and we can go all the way. We proved it last year. And honestly, against Brisbane in the prelim, we were cooked, man. We were fucking cooked. We gave it our all in the first quarter, and then things kind of went. It was kind of like this game. Gave it our all in the first quarter, and that was it. That was all we had. But yeah, we definitely got the tools and this and the players to get the job done if it comes to finals. But can we get there? And I really think, and I said this on my preview at the start of the year, our season preview, that top 4 is so important. You can kind of already look at the ladder now and be like, we're going to struggle to get there. But I'll tell you something, I don't believe, it's pretty harsh, but I don't believe, if we don't get top 4, I don't think we will go all the way. I think top 4, you need top 4 for that second chance and home final at least. I don't know, man. At the MCG with a full team, guys, we're beating anyone. Fuck them. I'm telling you, we'll beat anyone. But let's just get healthy. Anyway, third quarter, they pumped us, man. They fucking destroyed us. It's simple as that. And they're a quality side. Last quarter was pointless. I stopped taking notes because it was game over. I think all Carlton fans out there, and you guys can probably agree with me here, that you just felt it as well. It was just, there was no life in this game and no life from us. Zach Williams did a couple of good things in the last quarter when he went forward. I would like to see him play forward more. Change something up, man. He had a nice chase down tackle on the rooster and scored a nice goal there. But, yeah, man. Slow, players jogging, half-assed. It was really hard to watch. And that's not the Carlton we know. That's the bad habit Carlton that we're speaking about. And this mental relapse that I've been going on about for years now. We just fall back into this mindset of mediocrity, and it's hard to snap out of it. And that is on the coaches, man. It really is. They are the ones responsible for lifting these players. And I know at the end of the day, you can't coach and teach fundamental errors like dropping a simple mark. How many times did we see that last night? I think that was the thing that pissed me off the most, where players would just panic for no reason, dropping marks, thinking there's a player behind them. And that's that invisible pressure we talked about. We were feeling Sydney's pressure so much that when there was no pressure, they thought there was pressure. And we fucked up every single time. And this shit leads to goals and counterattacks. And we're too slow to keep up with that. Absolutely too slow. But, you know what, man? I guess the positive outcomes out of this game, if there is any, is we are 6-4. We've had a shit ton of bad luck with injuries. Let's hope over the next few weeks we get a few players back. And look, we do have a decent run home. So yes, Stevie, we do. But I don't want too much damage to be done before then. So look, Gold Coast next week. We've got Gold Coast on Saturday Arvo. That is a fucking huge game, man. They pumped Geelong. Geelong still scored 100 points in that game, and I think Suns ended up on 166 or something like that. So they're going to be up and about. They're going to be tough to beat, man. And if you guys remember last year, the Gold Coast game was pretty much the turning point. Well, it was the Hawthorn and then Gold Coast. I can't remember which one was first, but the Gold Coast game, we pounded them. And that was when that curse got lifted and we went on the run for 9 games in a row. So can the same thing happen now? I fucking hope so, man. Because let's see who we've got. We've got Gold Coast and I think we've got Bombers the next week after. We've got Gold Coast next Saturday and then the week after. Oh, Port Adelaide over there. Jesus Christ. It does not get any easier, guys. Fuck. Oh my God. That sucks. I think after Port Adelaide, then we got Essendon. The Essendon game I'm looking forward to a lot because last year they beat us, so we owe them one. And what better way to get our season back on track than there? But let's fuck the future thinking for now because we got Gold Coast up next, and that's going to be the next test. Weeders, hopefully he gets up. Guys, the final score in this one, how much did we lose by? 52, I believe. It was, 117 to 65, 17-15 Sydney scored to us 9-11. Newman was okay last night. Probably one of our better players. I thought Charlie was okay in patches, but the thing that shits me about Charlie Curnow is his lack of pressure. and he's chasing. You see him so often in the background, just like half-assing it, just jogging. Man, and I said this last week and the week before, I don't know if he doesn't have confidence in his body anymore or something's going on internally. He's sore somewhere. He can't bend over. He can't run. The guy is a bamboo stick. He's so stiff, so he can't really chase down tackle anymore. His agility's not the same. And 9 times out of 10, when Charlie has the ball and he decides to play on and do that side kick, when he plays on his right and does that side kick, 9 times out of 10, turnover. You can see it before it happens, and you just cringe every time he does it. There was one time last night then Charlie Curnow did this. He could have gone back, taken 30 seconds, and had a set shot, made the distance, and kicked the goal. Instead, he's played on, done the side kick, and the ball hasn't made the distance, and Sydney got back for it. Silly things like that piss me off about Charlie. And I love Charlie. Back-to-back Coleman medalist. He's one of our best forwards, and if not one of the best forwards in the game. But something's going on with him, man. Something's going on with him, and we need more from him. We really need him to step up. I thought he had a really good game last week, and his pressure was there, and his energy was there. This week, I didn't see that. He still scored a couple of goals, and he was okay, but I just want to see him do more on the defensive end. I know that's not his job, but man, there's too many passengers in this side. Our small forwards aren't getting the job done. Durden had 3 touches, no goals. De Koning, I thought, was pretty bad last night. He only had 6 touches, no goals. Marchbank, I thought, was very, very sluggish and off the pace. Ollie Hollins was Carroll had 9 touches when he came on. He didn't really do too much or impact the game. I thought Kemp was all right. Boydie made a few errors. Akers was okay. Man, not really many positives, honestly. But, yeah. So at the end of the day, we lost by 52 points. And we're sitting 8th with Collingwood to play tomorrow. And they got Adelaide, which will be a tough game. They usually play some good games. So, yeah, man, we could be out of the 8. We really could be. We probably will be. So, look, let's look forward to next week. Guys, if you guys want to check out my other content, I was ripping into some Melbourne supporters the last game, and they're still crying about it, man. The Melbourne supporters are still crying over, the Kemp dangerous tackle. Was it yeah, that's what they're crying about. Still whinging and think that cost them the game. Shut up. Just shut up. Oh my God, I gave him a good troll last week, and I dedicated an episode to stick it up him a bit. So that was pretty funny, man. I love trolling him back. I get trolled all the time. I get messages here and there. But it's all part of footy banter, man. There's no hard feelings. But, yeah, guys, I'll drop a preview episode midweek. I didn't get a chance last week for this game, and I wasn't even excited about it. But there will be a preview episode going up midweek about the Gold Coast game. Let's hope we get some players back. Of course, check out my other content, man. There's so much on here. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I'm not really going to get too much into the second half. I just can't be fucked talking about it. We got pounded, man, at the end of the day. And we really, really need to get some players back. Because if we don't, this season could turn on its head very, very quickly. It's already starting to happen. Have we lost 4 now in the last 6? I think we have. So that's not good. And that's why the Adelaide game makes me sick. It makes me so sick that we lost against Adelaide. And Cats. We should have beat Cats. Look what's happening to them. Why couldn't they be bloody injured when we versed them? That game pisses me off. The Collingwood one still pisses me off too. And then last night, whatever. I'm going to take that one. We were just not there. We didn't rock up. Anyway, guys, what have we been going? Nearly 40 minutes. Jesus Christ, it's lunchtime. Enjoy your weekend, guys. I love you all. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in there, tell me what you thought of the game. And that's it from me, man. Till midweek, I will catch up with you then. I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Love you all. Adios. Goodbye. And